Ladies and gentlemen, there is no greater challenge, no higher calling than the mastery of oneself. You are at war, whether you acknowledge it or not. The battle is not with the world, not with society, not with some external enemy, but with yourself. It is a battle between who you are and who you could be, between your potential and your limitations, between order and chaos within your own soul. The degree to which you win this battle determines the trajectory of your life. If you do not master yourself, you will be mastered by weakness, by temptation, by fear, by circumstances beyond your control. But if you choose to take command of yourself, to shape your character with discipline and responsibility, then the world itself will begin to bow to your will, not because it has changed, but because you have. Self-mastery is not an achievement, but a process, a continual sharpening of the mind, the body, and the soul. You cannot reach it in a single moment, nor can you fake it. It requires honesty, kind of brutal honesty that forces you to see yourself clearly, to confront your flaws, to admit where you fall short. Most people avoid this because it is painful. It is easier to blame external forces for your failures than to recognize that you are the common denominator in every problem you face. It is easier to say, I can't change because of my circumstances, than to admit that you have refused to do the work. But reality does not care about your excuses. Your potential does not wait for you to feel ready. If you want to master yourself, you must start where you are, with what you have, and build from there. Discipline is the foundation of mastery. Without discipline, you are a slave to your impulses, reacting to life rather than shaping it. Discipline is what separates those who achieve great things from those who merely wish for them. It is the ability to act in alignment with your goals, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Feelings are fleeting. They are unreliable, inconsistent, and often counterproductive. If you wait until you feel motivated, you will never achieve anything of substance. Discipline is what carries you forward when motivation fails. It is what gets you out of bed when you want to sleep in. It is what pushes you to do the work when distractions call your name. It is what forces you to keep going when every part of you wants to quit. If you do not master your mind, it will master you. The mind is a tool, a weapon, but only if you wield it with intention. Left unchecked, it turns against you, feeding you doubts, insecurities, and rationalizations. It will convince you that your weaknesses are permanent, that your failures define you, that you are a victim of circumstances rather than the architect of your own fate. This is why mental discipline is paramount. You must take control of your thoughts, direct them toward what is useful, challenge them when they lead you astray. You must be ruthless with your own excuses, call out your own self-deception, and replace weak, self-pitying narratives with ones that empower you. Mastering yourself also means mastering your emotions. This does not mean suppressing them, but understanding them, controlling their expression, and ensuring they serve you rather than rule you. Fear is natural, but allowing fear to dictate your actions leads to a life of regret. Anger can be destructive, but when harnessed, it becomes fuel for transformation. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice determined by how you interpret and respond to adversity. The person who is ruled by emotions is at the mercy of the world, easily manipulated, easily broken. But the one who has learned to govern themselves remains steady, unshaken by the chaos around them, because they have built order within. Physical mastery cannot be ignored. Your body is the vessel through which you experience the world, and its condition affects every aspect of your existence. A weak body leads to a weak mind. Neglecting your health weakens your will, dulls your clarity, and robs you of energy. Strength, endurance, resilience, these are not just physical attributes, they are reflections of your character. Training your body is training your ability to endure hardship, to push beyond discomfort, to demand more from yourself than you thought possible. If you cannot command yourself to wake up early, to train, to fuel yourself with what strengthens rather than what weakens, then what makes you think you can command yourself to do the harder things in life? Your habits shape you more than your desires. You do not become great by wanting to be great. You do not become strong by wishing for strength. You become what you repeatedly do. If your habits are weak, you will be weak. If your habits are undisciplined, you will live a life of chaos. But if you forge habits that align with the person you want to become, mastery follows naturally. The key is to structure your life in a way that forces you to become disciplined. Set standards for yourself that do not bend to your feelings. Create routines that ensure your success is inevitable. Make the hard path the default so that weakness is not even an option. Mastery also requires a clear sense of purpose. If you do not know what you are aiming for, you will drift aimlessly, falling victim to distractions and meaningless pursuits. Your purpose is your anchor, the thing that keeps you steady when the storms of life rage. It gives meaning to your struggles, makes the sacrifices worthwhile, and fuels your endurance when you want to quit. If you do not yet know your purpose, then your first mission is to find it. This means seeking truth relentlessly, exposing yourself to challenge, pushing beyond the comforts of ignorance. It means looking within and asking the hard questions. Who do I want to become? What do I stand for? What am I willing to suffer for? The answers are not given, they are earned. But once you have them, your path becomes clear. Self-mastery is not about perfection, it is about progression. It is not about being better than others, but about being better than you were yesterday. The standard is not external, it is internal. It is you against you. Every day you have the opportunity to win or lose the battle within. You win by making the disciplined choice, by facing what you fear, by refusing to surrender to comfort and complacency. You lose by giving into weakness, by seeking excuses, by avoiding the necessary struggle. And the consequences of these choices are not immediate, but cumulative. Each victory strengthens you, just as each failure weakens you. Most people live their lives waiting for something to change, for some external force to push them into action. But mastery does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who take control, who decide that they will no longer be victims of their own laziness, fear, or indifference. It comes to those who demand more of themselves, who hold themselves to higher standards, who refuse to settle for mediocrity. You will never master the world, but you can master yourself. And when you do, the world bends to your will, not because it has changed, but because you have.